An update on AEW's plans for Ricky the Dragon Steamboat tonight on AEW Collision. Will the Hall of Famer be wrestling this weekend at AEW All Out against Absolute Ricky Starks? We'll let you know about that. Plus, John Cena returned last night on SmackDown, confronted by Jimmy Uso. He'll also be hosting WWE Payback tonight. Details on his future and his upcoming schedule with WWE. Dennis Rodman will be appearing on Collision tonight. Details on Rodman's return to the United Center. Tony Khan says that the gate for AEW All In was several times what he paid for Ring of Honor. The Dark Order will be challenging for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships this weekend after they win their match on AEW Rampage last night. A big Jim Ross entrance was scrapped at AEW All In because of the backstage altercation between CM Punk and Jack Perry. Sonny Kiss has been removed from the All Elite Wrestling roster page on their website. The Street Profits are teased as future opponents for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Grayson Waller gets his first main roster victory. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrest News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Lots of people have been wondering, is Ricky Steamboat, 70-year-old Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, actually going to wrestle on an All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view tomorrow at AEW All Out at the United Center? Well, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now, of course, AEW is kind of scrambling around at the moment, it must be said, aren't they, regarding all of the changes and things going on regarding CM Punk, Jack Perry, and others. AEW is in a scramble mode heading into a massive 2 nights at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, with uncertainty regarding hometown hero CM Punk casting a black cloud over the company's return to Chicago, Illinois. Punk is suspended after a heated backstage incident with Jack Perry last Sunday at Wembley Stadium, potentially sidelining him for both tonight's episode of Collision, and AEW All Out in the Windy City on Sunday. Punk's absence would leave Ricky Starks without a dance partner for All Out, which has prompted AEW to bring back Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for an angle with the Absolute Star. But according to a report from PW Insider, the WWE Hall of Famer is slated to appear as advertised on Collision to confront Starks, but at this stage there are no plans for the 70-year-old to compete in a strap match against Starks the following night. Now, Steamboat appeared recently as a special guest referee for a match between CM Punk and Starks on Collision, which saw the latter whip him with a bout after the match and mock the legend in recent weeks, despite being suspended by AEW for his on-screen assault. Instead of placing Steamboat in a major pay-per-view match on short notice, AEW is expected to use his appearance on Saturday to set up a match with a full-time talent for All Out. Whether that match comes against Punk, who has not been definitively ruled out by AEW boss Tony Khan at this stage, or someone else remains to be seen, but it will put Starks in a featured spot after missing out on the opportunity to wrestle in front of 81,000 paying fans at All In. So the question is, you guys, who is going to face Ricky Starks at All Out? It's not going to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Could it be CM Punk? Is this all a swerve? If it's not CM Punk, who is it going to be? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, John Cena is back on WWE television, and he's going to be on TV for quite a while for WWE. We've got some details on his schedule in just a second. But last night, John Cena returned to SmackDown in Hershey, Pennsylvania, to a huge crowd reaction for a confirmed months-long run pending the end of the writer's strike in Hollywood. Cena thanked the fans for letting him entertain them for 20 years and said he was going to do his best to say thank you every time he steps in the ring from here on out. The multi-time WWE champion also announced that he would be hosting tonight's Payback Premium Live event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Cena was then confronted by Jimmy Uso, who also returned with new entrance music after plans for him to once again address his turn on his twin brother Jey Uso and Jey's subsequent quitting of not only SmackDown but also WWE. Those plans were actually meant to take place last week. They were scrapped, of course, due to the tributes to Wyndham Rotunda and Terry Funk. The confrontation ended, as might have been expected, with Cena delivering an attitude adjustment to Jimmy Uso. Now, outside of Payback, WWE's plans for Cena's current run with the company have not possibly been revealed in terms of matches. Cena was last seen on WWE programming during Money in the Bank, where he hit an attitude adjustment on Grayson. He last wrestled against Austin Theory in a losing effort in the opening match of WrestleMania 39. Now, when asked about his hosting duties for Payback, speaking to Kathy Kelly in a WWE exclusive, Cena commented on his return. He said, quote, "Every single chance I get to go out there becomes more and more special. There is no denying the fact that I'm 46, staring down 47. I've been here over 2 decades. As I said out there in the ring, the last one is not tonight, but I know it soon." To speak candidly, you just think about what's next. The WWE Universe being gracious to invite me and allow me back to be part of this family. For the last 2 or 3 years, I've been able to focus on what's now. I never miss any of those wonderful moments in the ring. I know it may sound repetitive, but so is me saying never give up. I never mind saying that, so I never mind saying thank you to the people that make this special. Without them and them caring, I don't get to come back. When asked about being the host for Payback, Cena said, quote, "I've never quite hosted. I just found that out right before I went down there, and I want to make sure everyone knows I'll be at the premium live event Payback as the host, and I don't even know what that means. I have a lot of mutual respect for The Miz. He's a man that wears many hats. Maybe I can engage him in a conversation and get some suggestions. He's done the job quite well." Now, when it comes to plans for Cena's return, as I mentioned, as of right now, there are not too many concrete details as to what he's going to be doing bar hosting Payback tonight, but it has led to speculation about what matches Cena could possibly have during this mini run with WWE. WRKD Wrestling has now reported that there indeed have been discussions about Cena potentially facing the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes during this short run with WWE. WRKD Wrestling shared the following on Twitter, quote, "John Cena versus Cody Rhodes has been discussed as a possibility during Cena's return stint. Rhodes has drawn comparisons to Cena during his current WWE run, with the American Nightmare being presented as one of WWE's top babyfaces. Do you think we could possibly see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes? Do you want to see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes? Is that the biggest match that WWE can do right now? Let me know your thoughts about that." Now, as far as this whole thing came together and sort of the surprising nature of it, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has also provided more details on this, saying that, of course, John Cena is coming back and has come back for an unexpected run, but it was actually unexpected even to those within WWE. Of course, Cena has been announced for dates through September and October in a run that WWE and even Cena didn't likely expect. According to Sean Ross Sapp, staff, producers, and some writers that Fightful had heard from regarding Cena said that his availability came due to the ongoing strike going on in Hollywood right now of the actors and the writers, and that WWE reached an agreement to bring him in. One higher-up has said that if he ends up appearing regularly on TV and the strike ends, they'll wrap up anything he's involved in and he'll return to his outside projects. However, there is no concern about him missing any advertised dates in the event that the strike abruptly ends. So the case is that because of the strike, it opened up his schedule, so he's come back to WWE television. If the strike ends, they'll wrap things up, but he'll still make the dates that certainly he's scheduled for. So there is the possibility, I suppose, of this being extended into the future, depending on how long this strike continues on for. Now, this was quite a surprise too. Dennis Rodman is coming back to the United Center and making his AEW debut tonight on Collision. Last night, AEW announced on Twitter that NBA Hall of Famer and Chicago Bulls legend Dennis Rodman is set for a return to the United Center for tonight's episode of Collision on TNT. Now, Rodman is no stranger to the world of professional wrestling. Rodman made appearances in WCW in 1998 and was even considered a member of the New World Order. The show, of course, tonight will also feature Ricky Starks calling out Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for a strap match at All Out on Sunday in Chicago. The show will also feature a singles match between Jay White and Dax Harwood, as well as the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn defending their newly won Trios Championships against 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. Finally, new AEW Women's World Champion Saraya will team with the Outcasts, Ruby Soho and Toni Storm, to face TBS Champion Chris Statlander, Britt Baker, and Hikaru Shida. The status of CM Punk for both tonight's show, Collision, and Sunday at All Out is still up in the air. We might get, hopefully, some kind of clarification on that today. If we do indeed, we'll let you know. But what are your thoughts on Rodzilla coming back to the United Center and returning to TNT in a professional wrestling fashion? Now, Tony Khan has opened up about AEW All In, the gate, and also how much he paid for Ring of Honor. All In at 2018 was billed as the largest independent show of all time, as Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, along with Ring of Honor, New Japan, and other independent promotions, packed the Sears Center, now called the Now Arena, with over 11,000 fans. 5 years later, AEW held its first All In event at Wembley Stadium with over 81,000 fans attending the biggest AEW show of all time. Ring of Honor held the footage to the original All In as they helped produce the event, and Tony Khan was able to obtain the footage when he purchased Ring of Honor in March of 2022. Quote, "It is part of our video library. When I purchased Ring of Honor produced the show. I was able to buy the tape in the sale, which was a very lucrative part of the sale. In fact, the gate for Wembley Stadium at All In was several times the price of the entire company. I got quite a steal, to say the least," Khan said during a live episode of AEW Unrestricted at Starrcast in Chicago. When AEW was formed in 2019, the company returned to Chicago during Labor Day weekend for AEW All Out, a nod to All In. AEW All Out has become a Labor Day weekend tradition in Chicago. Quote, "All Out honestly got named because I didn't want to name it All In and get sued by Ring of Honor," Khan said. Now, of course, he has the rights to both. So certainly, that's why you've got All In and now All Out just 7 days after that. Speaking of All Out, we know that we are going to have a Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match tomorrow at the United Center, and the Dark Order is going to be challenging MJF and Adam Cole. The Dark Order won a Tag Team Battle Royal on the September 1st episode of AEW Rampage, and we're now going to challenge MJF and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships at All Out. The Battle Royal came down to John Silver and Trent Beretta of the Best Friends. It looked like Silver was eliminated, but he was saved on the steps by his partner Reynolds, who was eliminated previously. Silver got back in the ring and eliminated Beretta, who was on the apron after eliminating Mark Davis. Reynolds was eliminated earlier in the bout by Darius Martin, who was then eliminated by Silver. So what are your thoughts on the Dark Order facing Adam Cole and MJF tomorrow at All Out? Is this something that you're excited about? Do you not really care? Is it a bit flat? What are just your thoughts on All Out at the moment and this match too? Now, of course, wrestling's still been talking extensively about the incident involving Jack Perry and CM Punk backstage at All In London at Wembley Stadium. Now, at this point, it's clear that the backstage altercation between CM Punk and Jack Perry created a very hectic situation backstage just minutes before AEW's All In went live on pay-per-view, and commentator Jim Ross was among those that was caught in the wake of this disruption. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Ross was expecting to make a big entrance in front of the more than 81,000 ticket-buying fans at Wembley Stadium in London towards the end of the 0-hour pre-show. However, with the situation backstage involving Punk and Perry unfolding at the time, Ross was instructed to make a more low-key trip to the commentary desk without walking out to music. As Ross took his seat at ringside, the planned opening match of the pay-per-view was in doubt. Backstage, there was reportedly concern about whether the bout between CM Punk and Samoa Joe, the match on the card Ross said he was looking forward to calling the most, would go on as planned. Now, on his Grilling JR podcast this week, Ross said he was unaware of the skirmish between Punk and Perry until after the show. CM Punk and Jack Perry are suspended, at least for now. AEW President Tony Khan would not commit to any stance on their status for Sunday's All-Out pay-per-view at the United Center in Punk's hometown of Chicago, Illinois. Once again, if we get any more details on that moving forward, we'll let you know. Now, Sonny Kiss might be done with All Elite Wrestling, certainly if the AEW website is anything to go by. Now, the roster page on AEW's official website has been updated with one particular name removed. That name is Sonny Kiss, who worked AEW's first ever show Double or Nothing in the Casino Battle Royal. Kiss had notable matches in AEW with the likes of Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega, but hasn't wrestled for the promotion since back in March at an AEW Dark taping. As far as actual AEW television, Kiss hasn't had a match since August 2022 on Rampage and hadn't had one on Dynamite since all the way back in October of 2020, which was the aforementioned match against Kenny Omega, which lasted only a few seconds. Neither Kiss nor AEW have commented on a potential departure from the company. Kiss is present in Chicago for Starrcast this weekend, which obviously many AEW names are involved in conjunction with Sunday's All Out pay-per-view, including Tony Khan himself, which is where those comments about All In and Ring of Honor came from. Steering back to SmackDown last night, we may know who's going to be challenging Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the future for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. On last night's episode of SmackDown, a top team in WWE seems to have emerged as potential challengers for the undisputed Tag Team Champions. Coming to the ring with big news, according to commentary, Bobby Lashley made his entrance before the commercial break, and when the show returned, Lashley explained his reasoning for being in the ring. Detailing they had been hearing questions as to why he was running with the Street Profits, Lashley noted that real recognizes real and then called out the Profits. With Michael Cole joking they were now the Suit Profits, the pair were referenced as more aggressive and focused than ever, despite their more dapper look as they joined Lashley in the ring. With Lashley describing the Street Profits as charismatic and aggressive, with the Profits thanking him, they went on to send a message to the entire WWE universe. According to Lashley, they were putting everyone on notice, saying, quote, "We're coming for power, control, and championship gold. We are coming for it all." With the trio leaving as a cohesive unit, they hadn't quite gotten to the stage when undisputed tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn appeared. With Owens and Zayn appearing for their tag match and crossing paths with Lashley and the Profits, there was a stare down between both sides. While eventually Lashley and the Profits parted the ramp to let the champs by, including cheering and singing along with Zayn's theme from Montez Ford, the glances exchanged were certainly less than friendly to start, planting the seeds for a potential match in the future. Of course, Owens and Zayn are on course set to defend their tag team titles against Damian Priest and Finn Balor at Payback tonight. After their encounter with Lashley and the Street Profits last night, Owens and Zayn picked up a victory over Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde of the Latino World Order. So do you think this is a tease for a match in the future? And is it also a bit of a spoiler as to the tag team title match tonight at Payback? Finally, Grayson Waller has picked up a main roster victory. Yes, the first time he's actually won on the main roster, which is quite surprising. Grayson Waller has already been in a host of big segments during his short time on the main roster and had actually yet to pick up any victories. Waller made his WWE main roster in-ring debut against Edge at Madison Square Garden and even received an on-mic compliment from the Hall of Famer after the match, but he did in fact not win that bout, nor had he won any of the further 4 matches he'd wrestled so far on main roster television, but last night may have started a win streak for the heel. Grayson Waller teamed with another obnoxious NXT alumni in Austin Theory to take on Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio on last night's SmackDown, and in the end it was Waller who picked up the pinfall victory. Waller continues to be featured in high-profile segments and moments with top WWE stars, including an in-ring segment at Money in the Bank with John Cena, and before that hosting guests like Charlotte Flair and Logan Paul on his in-ring chat show, with another big star set to appear tonight at Payback. At Payback, the Grayson Waller effect is set to feature the American Nightmare himself, Cody Rhodes. So there you go, guys. That's the latest pro wrestling news for you today. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner. Remember, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will be live later tonight for Payback. We'll be doing a watch-along and a post-show as always, so be sure to join me then. Have a great one, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.